Hi, I'm going to show you Cross Stitch Christmas by Better Homes and Gardens, and this is from 2003. So this is a magazine that is just put out around Christmas time. I don't know if they still put this out, um, and it's just full of cross stitch designs for Christmas. In the front of it's a magazine, kind of like a book. It's really got that many in it. It's fantastic. So we'll start with the table of contents. So they just have a few pictures of projects available, and they separate the magazine into different sections of different kinds of themes that they have their decorations and ornaments or designs in. They also have the rest of the table of contents over here. And that gave you a few more pictures to see the style of designs they have and the types of projects. Towards the back of the magazine is where you have some important sections if you're going to actually make the designs. They have cross stitch basics. And that talks about getting started, what you need to know, and some of the stitches. And it goes on to the next page. And they show you how to do various stitches, different kinds of embroidery stitches you need to know how to do for the different projects in the magazine. And it goes on to yet another page. And they have really nice little diagrams, and then they give the directions of how to do all of the different stitches. On the next page, they have an article about fabric and then threads that you need. So they give you quite a lot of information about it. They also kind of talk about charts and um, lots of different things like that. And on the last page, they also talk about the different needles and what size fabric to use it on, and then how to figure out how big your design is going to be, how much fabric you need, things like that. Just a sort of basic thing anybody needs to know if they've never cross stitched before. And even if you have cross stitched, but you just, your memory fails you sometimes, like with me, and figuring out how much how much fabric I need. Um, or if I've never stitched a particular stitch before. And then they also have a letter from the editor. And they have a lot of instructions on how to complete the projects in the magazine. So they'll give you a picture of the project, instructions, and then the pattern. And the patterns are full color. It's so nice. And I really love here how they have the pattern and then they have a picture of the finished project right next to the pattern, even though they already had a picture over here. So I'm going to show you this right here, and I'll just go through and show you all the different designs. We won't look at the pattern. You'd have to order your own copy, maybe through eBay. Sometimes I get distracted and think it's a project, even though it's just an advertisement. It's like a free pattern from Weichelt, or however you say the name of that imports fabric supplier, but it's not in the magazine. They have more than one of those. This one is Hark Herald the Angel Sings. That's a Mary Engelbright design, for those of you who know who Mary Engelbright is. Here we have the different Santa designs. These are collectible Santas. And then there's another one on this page. They also show how you can do that one in a different color scheme and on a pillow. This one is shown in two different ways of finishing it too. I really like this version, which is the first one you saw was more like an ornament. This one is a pillow. It's a really pretty pillow. If you don't feel as good about your sewing, you might prefer to make it as an ornament than as a pillow. This is Jingle All the Way. Well, actually, that was the Santa pin. This is Jingle All the Way. And then come some of the patterns. Next we have O Holy Night. They start with a little Bible quote, but we're gonna, and it shows the nativity scene, so we will take a look at that. And I've seen different cross-stitched nativity scenes. This one's very nice, and they finished it off really nice too. This one kind of has an overview of projects, but we're just going to skip to the larger pictures. This is one of my favorite designs in the book that I would really love to stitch. Looks like they've used some charms or beads on the pattern. I say it's one of my favorite designs in this magazine, but really, like, I loved so many of the designs in this magazine that there's only a few I wouldn't want to stitch. Very few. Um, I actually have started stitching one of them, and I'll point that out when I get to it. Here we go. These stockings are very tiny, and for like putting on your, you can make it as an ornament. Here they have put it with like a, just as a decoration at their place setting. Those are little toile stockings. Here we have some more Victorian style ornaments. And this is really pretty pink poinsettias, although I guess you could change the colors to make it red, for linens for the napkins and tablecloth. Really pretty stoneware. I don't know if everybody, how many people still use stoneware, um, but lots of people used to use stoneware. These are flaky friends, so lots of snowmen. So even, I guess you got a Santa Claus there too, even though they use these for like a place card at the table setting, you could use them for gift tags or for ornaments. Here we have a couple more, but they're just snowmen. And this is the cover design. It's really adorable. Here we have another snowman. And these are snowmen, I think, with some beading. And you have the patterns. And such a nice feature of the design that, and along with all of your patterns, they include the special stitch diagrams right next to where you need to use them, not just in the back of the book. Although maybe this one has some stitches that are not in the back. I haven't double checked. This is a country Christmas, so kind of more of a folk look to it. Really adorable reindeer and Christmas trees and a cute little saying. Here's another, now I don't know why. It says happy holiday instead of happy holidays. But in any case, maybe that's a mistake. You would have to recenter it and everything to fit the S in there. But the pine cone design is really cute. And this uses the same design, but just for placemats and napkins. Although I guess you could do a tablecloth with this. And it looks like you got to do a little bit of sewing for that placemat with the plaid border that they added. And I think that's the last. Nope, it's not the last section. We have Sweet Angels, the very back. They're called Scandinavian Angels. And then they have more patterns, and I believe that is the end of all of the designs. So there you go, Cross Stitch Christmas 2003. I have another one to show you in another video for 2004. Please leave any comments you might have for me about the video, about the magazine that I showed you, or Better Homes and Gardens Cross Stitch, especially their Christmas magazines. If you've stitched any of these projects or would like to stitch any, or if you've received any of them as gifts or inherited them. If you have any comments for me about anything related to cross stitch,